In this video, we're going to look at various ways in which Ultrabeat's sound sources of drums can be expanded by using external audio files. At the moment, you can see that within this little drum part that I've got set up, this drum track, I've got the clap sound currently highlighted. And you can see that at the moment, it's currently constructed from one phase oscillator up at the top of the interface and a noise generator. So I've got two separate sound sources which are currently contributing to this sound. And in a moment, we'll hear what that clap sound sounds like as it stands at the moment. So I've got this nice sort of long but quite dark clap sound. Now what I've also done within my piece is to make this pad sound too, which you can see is a combination of the EVP88 and a little set of insert plugins which I've got set up here. Now there's a nice quality to that pad sound, but it's pretty dull and it's pretty lifeless. It's just sort of staying pretty stable. So rather than using this as a regular part within my piece, what I want to do instead is to feed it into Ultrabeat so that the pad can be triggered as a kind of drum sound. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to drop down to the channel strip setting where you can see I've sent this sound to bus number 1 already. But what I'm going to do is to turn off the output of this channel so that rather than making a noise, this channel will simply send a sort of shell of its signal over to bus number 1, where the output has also been switched off. So instead of making a noise now, this is just going to produce an internal sound within Logic which I can use to route in somewhere else. And the place I'm going to do that is into this clap sound. So I'm going to sacrifice the idea of using a phase oscillator and a noise generator in combination. And instead what I'm going to do is to make sure that up in the top right hand corner, the sidechain source is selected as bus number 1, which is of course where I've sent that pad sound. So as soon as I've set that up and I've got that working, what I can then do is to change the sound source within oscillator number 1. I'm going to flick that over to the sidechain and I'm going to get rid of the noise generator altogether. And what that basically means now is this external signal is coming into Logic in place of the clap sound, and you can see I've renamed it as a sidechain input as well. And you can hear the result, that sidechain input's almost acting as a kind of gate for that sound, which means that I've got all of this synthesis style control over that sound now as well, rather than just being able to switch that sound on and off and chop it in the way that it's being chopped at the moment. I can of course adjust, for example, its envelope length. So you can hear there the length of the signal is changing depending on how I adjust the amplifier envelope. But what I can also do, of course, is to set up LFO and envelope style effects onto other parameters like the filter. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to route LFO number 1 into the cutoff frequency, which sounds like this. Let's add some bit crushing too. And that's working great. So we've now got this really nice little sort of sound coming in. Of course, there'd be nothing to stop us re-adding the original pad. And that produces a really nice kind of warm, modulated effect. And quite unusual to have those two sound sources playing, but modulated differently. So there are all sorts of interesting things you can do with sidechains in Ultrabeat.